All right, here we go. Today we're up at the crack of ass. We're gonna go forage before anyone else has hit the streets. But this time, 2 buckets and gloves. Last time I kind of danced with the Grim Reaper when it came to hepatitis risk and stuff like that. You shouldn't be jumping into any dumpsters. Look at that, someone else is up early. You shouldn't be jumping into any dumpsters without some kind of hand protection. So this time we're gonna do it the right way. Here we are at stop number 1, good old reliable Aldi. Somebody was kind enough to make a staircase for me. These gloves, I'm telling you, are working great. The bucket was all across my hands, had no problem. Of course, I have to now use my nose to hit the record button. It's a full dumpster, but the problem is there's no light. So I can't really record very well, but got some bananas in here, some fruits and vegetables. I'm gonna have to stop recording so that I could use the flashlight on my phone. I wasn't ready for that. So today I learned that iPhones have lights on them that you can use when you're recording. I'm half tempted to throw my haul right back in there so I could record myself pulling it back out. But instead, just take a look how many bananas and stuff. I can't get to it. There's so many bananas down there underneath that green box. This whole thing is just filled with vegetables. There's plenty of meat in here too. I think I had a whole rack of ribs at one point. I don't know where I threw it to, but there is a lot of stuff in here. And this is what you get in the early morning hours. All these bananas, tons and tons of bananas. I hope those are good for compost. We got lots of bananas, there's some limes, there's peppers down there. I mean, just this one spot, and I could probably come back and fill the compost for a second time. There's a banana squash, or a butternut squash over here. Just this one dumpster has filled 2 buckets. So these gloves worked out great, by the way. Strongly recommended if you need to work in dumpsters, get yourself some fireman's gloves. And there we go, just that one dumpster. Filled up 2 buckets, and you know what, I might even come back here. I'm gonna go back to my house, I'm gonna come back for a second time and grab another haul. Compost bin is down there, and these are the 2 planters that we've got. This actually survived, whatever this was, survived the winter. I think that's oregano, I think. I'm not positive what that is. This is stuff that I found growing inside the compost. These are all onions. So these onions just sprouted. It turns out you can't just throw vegetables in a bucket and call it compost. You have to break it up and stuff. And you also need grass clippings. So I just loaded this thing up with grass clippings. And now there's a whole bunch of vegetables and stuff underneath the grass clippings. So we're gonna load up my haul, bust up the fruits and vegetables, and then we'll go back for a second haul. We're gonna try something a little unique here. Let's put this rock in the middle and then smash everything against it. See if that works. First thing is the bananas. Yeah, it kind of works. Sort of. Got a lot of bananas here, so this is going to take a while. Let's just, might need to find, just crack these open. Do I even need to crack these open? I don't know much about compost. Nah, but now that they're open, it'll give it a chance to, get one with nature or whatever it needs to do before it can compost. I'm not going to smash all these. A tremendous number of bananas in that Aldi dumpster. I probably could have just filled an entire bucket just with bananas. I mean, both buckets. I could have filled both buckets with just bananas. But I don't know. Are those good for compost? I would assume so. And I remember years ago I had done an entire report on how to effectively compost. This is pretty disgusting. How to effectively compost. You needed a mix of nitrogen and carbon. You get the carbon from things like cardboard, harder materials, stems, sticks, leaves, and you get the nitrogen from all the fruits and vegetables. I think what my compost has been lacking so far is any kind of carbon. I need more. I gotta smash this one open. I need more hard stuff, not just vegetables. That didn't really work. But what I keep gathering out of all these dumpsters is fruits and vegetables. That's what I'm there for. So I need to figure out some way to get some carbon into here. Maybe just even putting some paper towels and napkins and stuff like that in. And I can see very quickly how this is going to get full fast. I'm really going to need to upgrade my compost bin. This wasn't even supposed to be compost. It was supposed to be a potato tower. But it turns out that that's just a meme that you tell people that are starting to grow potatoes. Like as a joke, you tell them you can grow it in a vertical tower. It's false. You can't actually do that. So we got conned. However, I did wind up with this. Forget the rocks. The rocks ain't good enough. This makeshift compost bin. Desperately needs an upgrade. All right, haul 1 is complete. It's probably plenty, but I need some exercise, and I want to go back and get the rest of what was in that dumpster, at least some of it. Maybe I can even find some carbon in there. Some good that'll do to keep the animals out. I'm back at Aldi for the second trip, but there's some Salvadoran guy unloading that truck. I don't know what, I mean, they might be up to something. So I'm just gonna stand by, maybe do a little workout, and then I'll go back in to get some more stuff out of this dumpster. The Salvadoran dude is gone, so now it's time. Let's get back in there. All right, I'll take a bucket in there with me this time because I'm actually gonna record the act itself. Here we go. Oh, my favorite part, climbing into the dumpster. All right. Oh, Jesus. All right, the most dangerous part is complete. All right, here's our bucket. Now let's go back. Now under here, there's like some eggs and stuff in here too. I gotta be careful. But underneath here, this is that gold mine, Donkey Kong gold mine of bananas. Take a whole bunch of them out of here. In fact, I'm gonna try to move this. We know what's in there. Some drinks. Rotting. I don't think, when talking compost, I don't know if these greens are really the best thing. I don't think they're very nutrient dense. So, you know, if I were really thirsty, this is, why would you throw that out? I don't know. Somebody could have taken that home. Big stuff that we're looking for. We've got a whole bunch of bananas down here still. So let's grab these. I'll fill up a bucket. The thing about these bananas is that they are heavy. I mean, it's part of a workout, I'm taking them all back with me, but sounds like a good idea before you're half a mile in. You gotta put the weight down every 30 seconds. All right. Okay. That's it. That's already like half a bucket just from this thing of bananas. These are a cool, refreshing snack of refratish. I don't know what the hell is it. Cucumbers. That's what it is. So cucumbers. All right. Sounds pretty good. All right. What else we got in here? Here's an entire salad. This should be a good mix. And just more bananas. Tons and tons of bananas. I guess you can only sell so many. You know, I never thought in my life I'd be doing this. Oh, thing of limes. More limes. Wow, there's a lot of limes over here. Look at that. These all just get thrown out, huh? And you got one more. At least one more. More limes. There we go. All right. There's a bucket right there. Already one bucket complete. This second bucket, I think I'd benefit from actually having two hands in here. Be a little bit safer for me. And it'll make it easier for me to go through all this stuff. So, all right, in this box, we've got some corn. Corn ought to be good. You know, I was talking about how I needed more carbon in this compost. And I bet you with the cob and these leaves, maybe just the cob really, I bet you this has a lot more carbon than all these nitrogen heavy vegetables I've been picking up. I guess I might as well take more limes anyway, right? A couple of oranges up here on the side. That's good. I'd be happy to find some more carbon heavy vegetables. More corn is good. What else? Something with a lot of stems, kind of twiggy. That's what I need. I think I just stepped on some eggs. All right, here we go. The whole rack of ribs. Now, some people say that you can't put meat in a compost. The truth is that you can. It's just going to take a lot longer to decay, and it's going to attract a lot more predators. I don't want predators getting into my compost. By predators, I mean like foxes, rats, not scavenger type predators, not bears, not around here anyway. There's a nice little assortment of tomatoes and zucchini. All right, a bag of chips. Now, I'm sure this will compost just fine. This open bag of chips, I think this is actually gonna have, I don't know, is that gonna have a lot of carbon in it? I'm not sure, but it's good to have some variety in there. We'll see what that does. I bet it'll break down just fine. Here's another thing of chips. This one looks like it's not even open. No, it is open. This is barbecue chips. I bet you that'll be fine though. It's just gonna make it a little extra disgusting in there. All right, so we're getting into bread now. Found some tortilla, so that'll work just fine. Let's take it out of the plastic now. One thing about wearing gloves, it makes it a lot harder to open up plastic. There we go. Some blueberries. These are good to have. Here we go. Lots more bananas. So I can get the plastic off of it. Here we go. Here's some more zucchini. This one looks like it's been in there a while. Either that or it was on the shelf for way too long. More zucchini. All right. Now I really need to find a way to easily break open all this stuff, because like some people on the YouTube comments were saying, you can't just have whole vegetables inside a compost that small. If you're just going to be throwing entire vegetables in there, fruits and vegetables, then you need a huge space where it can really get buried underneath other stuff. The size that I'm doing this with is too disgusting. I don't want that. The size I'm doing it with, it's going to attract animals. That's all that's going to happen. So I need a way to mash the compost or keep it turned over. I don't know if putting it under leaves is going to be enough. So I got some skill issues I got to work through, but this is good practice if nothing else. All right, but look at that. I mean, we got pretty much a second bucket here. Maybe I'll just take a little bit more stuff. You know, we'll wrap this up. Avocado, that's good to have. Something different. Throw in some more rotten bananas. I might call that a wrap. Looks like the bugs have certainly taken a liking to my giant pile of rotting fruit and vegetables. Probably can see them on the camera, but they're all over the place. So we're just gonna dump this in. This thing's about to get overflowed. And I think now is the time for me to start looking at. This is worse than I feared. That's a lot of stuff. All right. Like I was saying, now is the time to upgrade my compost. I gotta figure out some way to make it easy for me to add more stuff to it, but also keep it safe from all these animals that are looking at this as a buffet. This is more disgusting. I thought it was gonna be this salad. All right. Because at current state, this is gonna just, if it decays, it'll take forever. And a lot of this is gonna get stolen by the wildlife. So I'm gonna cover this up with some leaves after I'm done and see how it goes. But at this point, it can barely even hold anymore. My current plan is to get some pallets and bolt them together so that I can have this, kind of cube-shaped thing, and I'll make the top so that I can open it. I'll throw some hinges on it or something. That way I can add more to it. But then it's going to be hard to shovel out the compost once it's ready. You'd have to move the entire pallet cube, and small animals could still get in. So maybe I'll use some of Rudy's leftover chicken wire and turn it into some kind of compost cage. Could be an interesting new approach to composting. And granted, I'm in the middle of a forest, so wildlife is going to be the #1 threat to getting good compost going. And the next biggest threat is probably my lack of skill and expertise. I'm just throwing random stuff into a pile and hoping I make nutritious dirt to plant other stuff later. I mean, how many limes can you throw into compost? But with these peels, I have a feeling that the peels of a lime are very carbony. And I've got a lot of nitrogen in here right now with just these soft-skinned vegetables. I think that the peel might add some of that much-needed carbon. Of course, I've got plenty of leaves I can add to this as well. Covering it up might give it a nice screening from animals. I got a lot of limes, jeez. Add some more bananas. All right, there we go. The whole thing is completely overflowing. Let me add some leaves here. Now these leaves will probably not do too much to keep animals away, but you need to cover this up to some extent. Otherwise, it's gonna just get picked up by all kinds of wildlife, and it's not gonna decay. Because I'm talking about carbon a lot. Leaves are great for adding carbon. Leaves, sticks, paper, and even napkins and stuff like that. That's all good for your compost. As long as you have the carbon and the nitrogen in the right ratios, this is gonna improve the health. All right. And there it is. So I'll clean all this up. And man, look, we are completely overflowed. I don't even have a side on this. This is a tree stump right here. Broken up piece of tree. I need to really improve my compost infrastructure. But I'm gonna come back tomorrow and see how much of this is still here and how much of it has been picked up by hungry animals. I've got a feeling that I'm creating a buffet for the squirrels. I'm hoping that we're just rising back up out of the low water mark for Homestead homies. You know, we've got a little something going on here in the woods. I think we can do something with these onions. And I think with some good compost, we can get a little bit more ambitious than just growing onions in a planter in the forest. So we're rising up out of the ashes. We got knocked down, but we're coming back.